In the 19th century, French wine becomes the benchmark for all international wine regions. And by and large, it still is. Why is that? A lot of commentators and a lot of people believe that France still is the benchmark.
Very much.
If you talk about sparkling wine, what's the first word that springs to your head?
Prosecco.
Champagne. Prosecco. Yeah. I mean, we talk, for me personally, first thing, if someone says sweet wine, Sauterne. What's a great red wine? Bordeaux. Great Pinot, Burgundy. Great Riesling, Alsace or Germany.
Because France were cocky enough to be like the Middle East.
Well, it's just publicity, really.
But they are
It's
good.
promoting yourself.
They are good, so they make good
What's
wine.
the best thing that
It's
comes
not
out of Germany?
publicity.
Best thing that comes out of Germany? Riesling.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Riesling. Spätburgunder.
Is there somewhere that's really, really not known? Like a region in Germany?
Yeah, Mosel-Saar-Ufer, the Rheingau. The Rheingau is arguably the best region in Germany for Riesling. Then the Rheinhessen, the Saar. But if you talk about, who makes the best wine in the world, arguably, people have always said, it's the French. Who makes the best Sauvignon Blanc in the world?
USA.
Well, you'll be proud of this one. I was working at the Grove on Tuesday, and these two Americans came in, and I asked what they've been doing, and they said they came to Auckland for a work trip and a holiday. I was like, why are you in Marlborough? And they said that they've heard we have the best Sav ever. So they came to Marlborough for 2 days while I took it away.
Good.
And I was like, okay.
Fantastic.
They got beer.
Of
They said they'd been wine chasing for 2 days, and they got recommended to come out and have a beer here for a break.
So
They
they
had wine
should.
fatigue.
Yeah.
So they should.
So I thought that was quite interesting that they just made a special trip to kind of wine.
Yeah, and I mean, arguably we do make the best Sav in the world. And we do need to crow about it, and we do need to promote it. Do we do enough? That's not for today.
No.
During this time, New World winemaking emerges to challenge the old guard. And I think the first country to really challenge the old guard was Australia, who really took the world wine market by the throat and said, dare I say it, look at me, look at me, look at me. And who was the infamous company to do that was Jacobs Creek, Orlando. When I moved to the UK in 1988, Australian wine was really rocking. And you'd see the red double-decker buses driving around London, and just about every one of them had Jacobs Creek plastered along the side of it. If it wasn't Jacobs Creek, it was Crocodile Dundee. But Jacobs Creek was just phenomenal. The amount of sales, the amount that was being rocked out of there was astronomical. I think I might have mentioned last week, the French decided then that they would make a Chardonnay and call it Australian style Chardonnay. That just indicated how much of the market Australia had gobbled up. And even with the red wine, Australian Shiraz was booming because Australian Shiraz, as you call it, Syrah, was so in your face. It was opulent, was big, it was, jammy, it had all that upfront fruit, and it was such a good drink.
How did they win that market share? Was it through price competition?
Price promotion and standing up on chairs and saying, buy this. This is good. This is great. This is what you want to drink. And it was, quite frankly, it was actually quite arrogant.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar about that in French.
Yeah.
There's a very similar style to it.
The advertising was really, really fierce. And I can remember because the company I was working for, they were incredibly snobby. And we used to do a lot of in-house tasting. And I can remember one of the guys there, the gentleman, used to say, he said, Australian wine, it's okay, but it will never age. It's not like French wine. And, he couldn't have been further from right if he tried. Australian wine will age just as well as any wine, as long as it's made appropriately. So, Kiwi wine, Hawke's Bay Reds, fantastic. Modern times, technology, research and development has allowed all nations to refine their winemaking abilities, creating a plethora of world-class wines. Absolutely. And the problem is that we're giving away all of our technologies, all of our secrets, and here, take it. Go back to your own hometown and make our wine and you sell it and, oh bugger, you've got my market. Oh well, I'll find another one. But when you look at the global market and where we're making wine, there's not a lot of countries out there that do it, or do it well. And you've got to remember there's only these two bands where winemaking is possible.
I like where you get that map from.
Hmm?
Enoteca Cortina is just about half an hour away from where I come from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through every one of these dates. As you can imagine, it would. I'll run out of energy by the end of that. But we've got a list of these dates, and you will need to become familiar with these because tomorrow you're going to need them.
It's not a very good picture. Nice.
It's not a picture.
Actual fact, I think
It's a picture.
I'll leave the PowerPoint there for the moment.